Hello, Ryan here with another episode of Try My Darling, and today I'm going to be looking at Metroid Prime, and I was a little nervous about doing this episode because, part of me wanted to do this and I was really hyped to do it, kind of in hopes of a new Metroid game at E3, but at the same time, I don't want to jinx it or anything as well, but, that's probably a silly superstition we don't really need here, but yeah, I just had the craving to, go back and just experience the first part of this game, kind of that opening scene, because it's so brilliant and so memorable. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing here, is just kind of playing through the first section of the game to kind of remind myself, and I guess you, if you're watching, what it's like and how cool it is. So it's been a while since I've played this. I'm thinking it will come back to me, the controls and everything. It's a pretty unique control scheme, but I think it's gonna work well. That music. It's so good. Man, what an opening. That is, let's see, okay. That has got to be one of my favorite openings. It totally lives up to, its predecessor, Super Metroid, which had another amazing opening. But, alright, let's see. The aiming is inverted. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I'm going to change that. So I'm playing... first one. Yes. Yep. Okay. So I'm playing... Yeah, that feels a little better. I'm playing this on This is the GameCube version. And I'm playing it on the Wii with component cables. So hopefully it looks all right. It looks a little weird on my 1080p monitor here, but I think it will kind of correct itself. The aspect ratio is just a little bit off. But I mean, overall, this game just feels so good. Right now I'm just jumping around and the subtle rumble, and I think this is a game that really is really awesome with the just feels great on the GameCube controller, and I like the Wii version. I think they added some really cool stuff to it. And the motion controls work really well in the Wii version, but it still just doesn't feel as good as playing with a GameCube controller. I don't know. It's kind of the same way I feel about Resident Evil 4 on Wii. Like, I mean, it's super good. It's probably a little bit better on Wii or any of the other versions, but man, when you play that game with the GameCube controller, it is so good. I love the GameCube controller. What a sense of place right now. I mean, it's probably not that like eerie or anything with the visuals are a little dated, and obviously I'm talking away, but like just look at all these little details, like the little bugs, the just the architecture in here, the quietness. So much to scan. I'm probably gonna chill on the scanning a bit because I don't love doing all the scanning. And I think it's gonna be a little boring in the video here, but oh, I forgot I do have a charge beam still at this point. I gotta use it for that. These crazy maps. Man, it was so nuts just seeing, seeing these cutscenes of Samus on the GameCube, and just how cool she looked. Yeah, this game it just blew me away visually at the time. It was probably it was probably the best looking video game I'd played at the time it came out. I mean, that was definitely what I was thinking when I first played it. I love how the first enemies you face in this game are not aggressive. they're wounded, and that is such a cool thing. It's not like dudes just start running at you and shooting. They have been messed up by something, and I don't know, I just think that's really, really cool. It's a really smart decision, because it really makes you think, okay, something went down here. And that's, I think, more exciting and exhilarating than if, you know, dudes just came right out shooting. It's like just building that foreboding atmosphere. And then, you know, if you do take the time to kind of scan around, and you kind of like parse out what's sort of been happening here, like that's you know, that's a really cool way of storytelling. I love how minimal the storytelling is. You know, in the start of the game here, in this opening, like it's all environmental, it's all you know, just observation based. You just paying attention to like what's going on here. Like that's perfect. It's you know, there's that feeling of isolation as well, like, you know, and some of that was kind of lost in you know, subsequent Metroid games and Metroid Prime games. Even like 2 and 3 were definitely, I don't know, had different levels of exposition and added a lot of characters and kind of made the plot a little more complicated, which, you know, what do you... I think they were in a tricky place for making sequels to this game. But I don't know, it's just, this original just nails so much right off the bat. It just gets so much right. Whoa. Goodness. And, you know, I think something that adds to kind of the uneasiness of this opening section is, like, the control scheme is so different and so interesting compared to, you know, any other Metroid game, or, you know, this is a game from a first-person perspective. You know, I wouldn't quite call this a first-person shooter. I think by Metroid Prime 3, the series kind of did become a first-person shooter with puzzle elements, but I think this is, you know, this is like a pure action-adventure game that just happens to be set in the first-person perspective. And I think just, like, you know, kind of coming to grips with the controls and how different they felt also just kind of put you, you know, in a place of unease as well. In the same way, like, survival horror games of the time did also. Only, you know, I think these controls are, you know, a little bit better than the original Resident Evil or something, but just a really great, really great kind of example of, you know, just using all aspects of the medium to create something wonderful. It's just a very good video game. Strafing. always scan the bosses before you fight them. I love how they pulled like an escape sequence in the first 20 minutes of the game. Like, that is that's some good Metroiding right there. Now we have the more aggressive enemies. More awesome music. So yeah, this is usually about the time where I'm like, am I gonna get out of here in time? Did I make a wrong turn? These tunnels are all starting to look pretty similar. Whoops. Did I mess something up? Am I going backwards? Very real fear at this point. Ridley. depowered. So brutal. Cool contrast between locations. Going from the space station to this like rainy jungle area. It's so good. Yeah, man, I want to keep playing, but I am going to stop here because this is where the game really opens up. There's a lot of getting lost, a lot of backtracking, a lot of exploring, and it's awesome. But I really kind of wanted to highlight that sort of opening mission because it is just one of the best openings ever in a game. So yeah, I mean, thank you for tuning in. I hope I did not jinx us, and I hope this is the year that Metroid comes back in a big way. I think it's long overdue, and just playing something like this, man, makes me just I really want to see Metroid be back and be a top tier franchise, because there's so much good here, so much good. But all right. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to check out our blog, you can at NintendoFunClubPodcast.com, and you can find me on Twitter at Braundwarf, BraWnDwarf. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will catch you next time. Goodbye.